Let's welcome Laura Mauriello.
I had my first panic attack in 2004. Since then, the longest relationship that I've had has been with my anxiety. I've learned many coping mechanisms, gone to therapy, tried several medications, but the one thing that has always been there for me and has always helped me is communicating through my art. That's what led me to my venture. How does that make you feel? Understanding the experience of anxiety. How Does That Make You Feel is a collaboration of art and writing from various artists depicting diverse experiences of anxiety. Through images and text, the reader is given permission to explore other people's anxiety beyond the clinical explanation. For those of you who don't suffer from anxiety, it can be really hard to understand how devastating and isolating it actually feels. And this book, sorry, just ate the mic. This book aims to bring anxiety to a more tangible place, as well as giving the reader a one-of-a-kind lens as to what compels people to make art. So chances are, if you don't suffer from anxiety, someone you love probably does. This book is for and by those of us who have severe anxiety, as well as our loved ones. And it's also for artists and art lovers who want to explore deeper how artists feel when they're creating work and what drives them. This is the perfect time for this venture because anxiety has become the #1 mental health issue in North America. In the US alone, 55 million people suffer from not just your everyday nerves, but what's classified as an anxiety disorder. It's no surprise, as we're in the social media generation, which has allowed us to present ourselves and our lives as falsely picturesque. However, this is changing. In a world of fake news and fake memos, people are striving to see the truth and what others go through. So to create my book, I reached out to 50 artists and writers, some who I know suffer from anxiety and others who I really just respect their work, and I wanted to see if they wanted to be a part of this. I asked a prompt to create a piece that depicts how you feel when you have anxiety or a piece that was fueled by anxiety. And I received incredible responses, stories, and a lot of support, and over 25 inspiring and also quite heartbreaking works that we'll see in a moment. Everyone's experience of anxiety is different, and these stories and imagery perfectly capture that. So this book is a collection not just of beautiful art, but a meaningful story of human experience through illustration, sculpture, painting, photography. And this particular series, which is called Ovarian Reserve, was created by the artist Sarah Lieber out of the anxiety she feels about being a woman in this day and age and the struggles she faces having to juggle a career while at the same time coming to an age where women are traditionally supposed to start having children and the ways our bodies are controlled and manipulated. Through her striking imagery, she conveys how she was feeling during the creation of this project. Each artist is able to convey their personal stories of anxiety while at the same time bringing the vague notion of the feeling of anxiety to a tangible, visceral place for the readers and those who may not really understand what it's like. There are some publications that have been coming out over the past few years that are approaching talking about mental health and opening the conversation around it to lessen stigma. And most of them are focused on writing and mental health as an umbrella topic. However, I don't really see these as competition because we're all striving towards the same goal. Other things like the popular Humans of New York blog and book are focusing on people and their stories, and Instagram has become a place where people are opening up and sharing their struggles. And I see these as opportunities for potential partnerships. The market for my venture starts big with the 201 billion that's spent every year in the US alone on anxiety. This includes medication and therapy, but considering that out of the 50 million people I mentioned earlier, only a third of those receive treatment, this number could be exponentially bigger. What I'm focusing on right now is that in 2016, 776 million were just spent on self-help books. Going forward, we'd like to expand into different media. We know that print isn't always considered the best thing, so we'll want to go into digital, creating an online platform for the stories and places to live, and including video and audio as well, so you can hear people saying their stories. In the first 6 months, we'll be reaching out to publishers, some bigger like Abrams, some independent, smaller publishers, in New York, and then publishers like Trigger, which specifically focus on mental health publications. We'll apply for a space at the New York Art Book Fair in September and work on creating our promotional materials for that. In phase 2, we'll continue to develop our website and community outreach and expand the media so that people can contribute more. And in phase 3, we'd really like to give workshops and talks on creativity and anxiety and expand the series and potentially do a podcast at some point. 15% of any sales that we do will go to the National Alliance of Mental Illness in the New York chapter, which is an organization that I'm a part of and I'm a big supporter of. With the costs over the first year, we are asking for $75,000 to make this a reality. Thank you for listening. We believe that sorry, I'm not done. Almost done. We believe that anxiety doesn't have to be only a hindrance, but it can be a source for amazing creative expression and a place for a lot of support. So please follow us for more stories and exciting things to come. Thank you.